Hey guys, insight number 4. Sorry for the last one cut off a little short. I was just like, got to keep this under 10 minutes, and I'm really just rambling about how awesome I think it is. So, yeah, read it for yourself. Please go read it for yourself. I think those are verses that you will, you'll get to know Nephi better, and that can only be a good thing, and that then when he does speak, you have more respect for it because you know him. It does make a big difference. And you think, oh, I've read lots of his words. Well, up to now you have read his words, but you've read mostly what Lehi spoke. Lehi's now gone. You're going to read a lot of what Nephi said and what Nephi did. That helps to know him, to be able to absorb his words and understand where he's coming from. The love he had for people, the love he still had for his brethren that he left behind. And how he goes on to create a community of like Zion living people. And how hard that's got to be out of nothing when you're in sorrow of losing half your family and your dad. You know, it's, yeah. And, you know, I think a lot of us can feel, we've been in those places. I feel a lot that I've been to. And when likening Nephi's life unto mine, there's a lot of things I don't have similar, but there's a lot of things I do. So this helps. This really helped me getting to know him. So anyway. Chapter 5, such good stuff. This is live after the manner of happiness. And I've broken this into 2 parts because there's 2 lessons to take in here and you can really look at this. So, first of all, in verses 1 to 3, after Lehi passes away, Laman and Lemuel especially, well, the brethren and specifically, because it's the sons of Ishmael as well, and probably their wives, some of their kids, who knows, a whole bunch of them, they really take offense at Nephi at this point. And and they want to slay him. This is not the first time they wanted to kill him, but this time it's really bad. He says in verse 4, I do not write upon these plates all the words which they murmured against me, but it sufficeth me to say that they did seek to take away my life. So even to this point, he's being a good guy and saying, you know what? I'm going to forgive them for all the things, because I still love them, and I don't need to remember all that ugliness. But they still wanted to kill me, so I had to go. And that's what the Lord did. He said to him, see, Nephi didn't leave by himself. He didn't just dump them and go. The Lord said, you need to go. You need to leave. They're going to kill you. You need to go. I need you to be alive. Leave. So he did. So he took everyone that would go with him, and off they went. And they go and build their own community, including a temple. Great. They have a temple of Nephi. Love to see what that looked like. He said it was after the ancient one that they had. That Moses had, I think. Or no, he said Solomon? No, I can't remember. Solomon's temple. After Solomon's temple. So I'm like, so it wasn't a tent one. It was solid. It's a building. They worshipped. Probably more like church. But I'm like, they had a temple. That's impressive. Because, you know, I always picture them living in tents. But at this point, they're no longer living in tents. They're living in buildings. They're constructing cities, and they had a temple. And I'm like, oh, maybe I could have lived for a little bit in ancient Nephite civilization. I'd miss the indoor plumbing. I think I'd get by for a couple of days, but I like now. I'm good with now. Anyway, so that was really cool. Sidebar to that. So they build their own community, including a temple. In verse 27, Nephi declares that they lived after the manner of happiness. So let's read that, and then we're going to go back in the second part of this, which is the next insight, and look at what that is and how we can do that. Because he actually speaks all the reasons why they could do that, and then he says that they do that. So let's have a look at that. So 27, and it came to pass that we lived after the manner of happiness. Pretty much that. So he describes everything they're doing, live after the manner of happiness. It's a very, very good set of verses there to look at. So what does that mean? What does that mean to you to live after the manner of happiness? Does that mean to live happy all the time? Because that's not going to happen, is it? Happiness is fleeting. It's short. It's not something that resides continually, but happiness is the byproduct of living a purposeful and meaningful life. So if you're living, that's where you find the joy in living purpose and meaning. Working, they worked hard. They lived in a life that invited opportunities and moments for happiness to come in. So they didn't focus on the ugly. They accepted it was there, said, yes, thank you for being there. We know you're there, but we're going to look over here. We're going to choose to look at the good. We're going to choose Christ. We're going to choose Christ-like things. We're going to choose good relationships. We're going to choose to build, not tear down. A lot of things. But how do you do this? Because he says, and we're going to look at that, how they did that, but how do you do this? So one of the ways I build up is I try to know people at churches' names, so that I can say hi to them by name. Even if I don't really know them, it's a good start. I definitely try to keep busy. It was something my grandfather always instilled in me. My grandparents, actually both sides, work. Go and serve, work. And I know that anytime I'm feeling really, really down, if I can pull myself up, even just a smidge, to go and work and serve, it helps a whole lot. Doesn't mean that I'm suddenly happy, but it allows that opportunity for happiness to come in. So that's one of the ways I do that, some of the ways. How do you do it? And what can you do better to live in a manner or a way to allow happiness to be more available in your life? Because some of us don't have children, like myself. Some of us don't have family. We live alone. Some of us have family that causes us a lot of grief. I have that too. Both sides. I have people all around. Some of us don't have good neighbours. I do at the moment. They're great. But, there's a lot of different circumstances in there that we're going to live through. You remember? He told he told Joseph, a lot of J names. Again, cold and flu meds. Apologise. Messes with your head, swear it does. He told Joseph, you're going to go through hard stuff. He calls it a curse. You're going to go through hard stuff that other people created, but you're going to be okay. It's not something you have to answer for, but you're still going to have to live through it. So how do you get to live through that? How do you allow this way of living that allows happiness to be more available in your life? What are you doing that allows that? I'm interested because I know what I do, but I think a lot of people would say, well, I know a couple of things I do, but I'd like it to be better. I'd like mine to be better. How can I improve? And maybe what you do can help me. So yeah, sometimes I'll just go for a drive just because I want some space and time. And I've talked before, I'll go on Jesus dates where I literally get some food or we go and have ice cream, but my date is Jesus. And I know you can't see him, but I know he's there and we're hanging out. We're having time hanging out. And that's better for me than alone time. Because if I tell myself I'm having alone time and then I just start feeling that I'm not loved. Whereas I go and have Jesus time. See, just that small rephrase, that really helps me. So what works for you? I would really like to know. So that's living after the manner of happiness. Now we're going to go and look at some of the ways Lehi taught Nephi and that Nephi embraced to do this. Obviously led by Christ as well, because that's where his focus was. Let's see how that worked out in the next one. We're still in chapter 5 of 2 Nephi, and I'll see you there.